Welcome into the latest edition of the Zone Heads podcast presented by Kevin Crager, my go-to real estate agent with LPT Realty. Go ahead and give him a call, 407-702-4635. When it comes to real estate, experience matters. Trust Kevin Crager to guide you every step of the way. That's 407-702-4635 or scrolling at the bottom of the screen if you are watching this on YouTube. Exciting times on the Zone Heads podcast. Next week, I'm going to be starting my top 12s, top 12s in fantasy football, top 12 running backs, top 12 wide receivers, top 12 tight ends, quarterbacks, and on and on. No defenses, no kickers, because who cares? Well, looking forward to digging into that one. I already started compiling my notes this week. For today, we're talking NBA free agency and more specifically, the Orlando Magic and their latest addition in Tyus Jones. I don't think there's much doubt to this point who the winners of free agency are. The Hawks and the Rockets have been crushing it. The Rockets adding Dorian Finney-Smith, one of the better veteran 3-and-D guys in the NBA. Everybody needs a DFS in their lineup in order to win a championship. And Clint Capella, who is a rim protecting big man that will help the Rockets coming off of the bench. And the Atlanta Hawks, also a big winner. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, one of the prized free agents that was out there. This is not the greatest free agency class. And so Nickeil Alexander-Walker was a guy that teams were hot after. He's going to come in, immediately back up Trae Young. And they added Luke Kennard. Atlanta now loaded with wings in the positions that they have between Kristaps Porzingis and Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson. They've got Trae Young running point and a former number 1 overall pick just a couple of years ago in Zachary Risachet. So that team is loaded up and ready to make a run in a wide open Eastern Conference. Some of the other quick moves to update you on: the Nuggets trade for Cam Johnson, sending Michael Porter Jr. to the Nets, ending that era for Denver Nuggets basketball. And by the way, Cam Johnson, older than Michael Porter Jr., totally swung and missed on that one on Twitter. And sometimes, when you're not paying for premium anymore, you can't edit this stuff. So you kind of have to just let it fly. I try not to delete tweets because I feel like that's a weak move, but that one's just going to have to sit out there. Incorrect information sent out by yours truly. Ty Jerome is now a Grizzly. D'Angelo Russell joins a loaded group in Dallas. Luke Cornett is now with the San Antonio Spurs, backing up Victor Wembanyama. Dennis Schroeder to the Kings. He was somebody that we had our eye on for the Orlando Magic, but he heads out west. And of course, Tyus Jones to the Orlando Magic. Jones has been linked to the Magic for the past 2 seasons now. And the off seasons, we've been hearing about Tyus Jones. Every trade deadline in between, we've heard Tyus Jones could be headed to the Magic, and it makes perfect sense. This is the kind of player that the Magic have needed. They've needed a table setter on offense in terms of the point guard position, somebody that's not going to be a liability or anything close to it on defense, because that's still the calling card of this basketball team. And most importantly, somebody that can knock down 3-point shots, and the percentages are there. I'll get to those in a moment. So what took him so long to get here? Timeline. The Magic have been committed to internal development over the past couple of seasons, and they have done very little to deter any of that potential progress, allowing Anthony Black and Jet Howard, Cole Anthony, Tristan Da Silva, and so on to get minutes. That was paramount so that they could figure out exactly what they have. It's more important to them to retain players that they feel are valuable than to just churn and burn through the roster every year. Right now, where the Magic have entered is the next phase. Once they changed the logo and brought in Desmond Bane, sending away 4 first-round picks in order to do it, you knew that the team has now entered the help us win now or get the hell out phase, and Tyus Jones fits that phase a whole lot better than the prior phase of internal development. The guy's 29 years old. He's been in the league for 10 years. He's a journeyman, and he fits this team perfectly. But the reality is he has been on several teams for a reason. He's good, but he's not special. So there will always be a Tyus Jones type that's going to be out there. And if you know how to find them and you only want to bring them in when it's winning time, then it is all about timing and bringing these players in. So good on the reporters out there, or for the sleuth Magic fans that have tied Tyus Jones to the Magic for the last several years. It turns out you've been right all along. It just took a while for us to get here. Jones is 29 years old. He's on to team number 5 in his 10-year career. It is not the sexiest move in the world, but it was absolutely the move that this team was going to need to make in this free agency period, and it's hard not to love it. $7 million contract, so he kind of slides right in, keeping the Magic under that first apron. I'll let Mike Giannetti from SpotTrack.com handle all of the apron stuff. Make sure that you're tuned into In the Zone, 3 to 6 p.m. every weekday on 96.9 The Game. Mike Giannetti joins me on Tuesdays at 4:30, today being Tuesday. So if you are fresh to this episode, a nice reminder for you there. But I also chat with Mike Giannetti every Thursday on his podcast channel, and that is available on demand wherever you download your favorites. So we'll get more in depth with not only this move, but all the moves that we've seen across the NBA. What do we like about Tyus Jones? Just about everything, honestly. I'm surprised that a player like this is on his 5th team in 10 years because he just provides so much value for what you need in today's NBA. He's a knockdown 3-point shooter. He's a good defender. He's a seamless locker room fit. And I mean, he's been shooting 41% from 3-point range over the course of his career, or the past 2 seasons, rather. 41% over the last 2 years, 38% over the course of his career. A guy that can defend, that takes himself seriously, that has been good going back all the way to high school, and then was also a star at the collegiate level. The guy has been good at basketball for a long, long time, and that brings us to this. 5 things that you should know about Tyus Jones. Let me take a sip of water, and we'll get right into it. 1, he is a national champion. Tyus Jones played at Duke in 2015 and was awarded the most outstanding player of the NCAA tournament that year. Tyus played alongside Jahlil Okafor, who is one of his best friends, Justice Winslow, Grayson Allen, and he was nails in the championship game against Wisconsin. They do not win that game without the clutch shot making of Tyus Jones. And easy to forget how important he was to a loaded Duke team just 10 years ago. Number 2 is that basketball is a family business for Tyus Jones and the Jones family. His brother, JD, I think is how you pronounce his name, played at Furman. He averaged 5.5 points per game, which isn't much, but hey, most of us didn't end up playing at Furman, okay? His younger brother, Trey, was a second-round pick in 2020, currently playing for the Chicago Bulls. So keep that note in the back of your mind. When the Magic take on the Bulls this year, you will have a brother-on-brother matchup. Thing number 3, Tyus Jones does not turn the ball over. He has had one of the best assist-to-turnover ratios in the NBA over the past 7 seasons. In fact, prior to joining the Wizards 2 seasons ago, a team that will absolutely tank your turnover stats, Jones had led the league in assist-to-turnover ratio, 2,108 assists, just 400 turnovers. That's a ratio of 5.27. That is the most in the NBA over the past 46 years. This guy passes well, does not turn over the rock. Perfect for the Orlando Magic in that regard. And thing number 4, Tyus Jones' career high is 28 points. He dropped that one against the Miami Heat, so tip of the cap for that one. Magic fans will like that. That was on December 5th of 2022. 28 points, 10 dimes, only 1 turnover. We talked about that a moment ago. 2 steals, and shot 63% from the field in that game. And most importantly, the Grizzlies won 101-93. And in doing that research and finding his career high, a side thing, Jones has also played in 28 playoff games over the course of his career. That is valuable experience. And then thing number 5, not sure if I love this, but apparently Tyus Jones thinks that LeBron James is the GOAT. In an interview that he did with the Minnesota Timberwolves after he landed there to start his career, he told the team's beat writer that LeBron James is the greatest basketball player of all time. I, of course, disagree. Michael Jordan is the GOAT, but hard to argue with a guy that would have been 2 years old when Michael Jordan left the Bulls. Hard to believe that. Hope you learned a little bit of something about Tyus Jones today. I'll be back at it next week with my top 12 wide receivers in fantasy football. Of course, keep it locked on the daily In the Zone, 96.9 The Game, 3 to 6 p.m. is where you can find me, and visit zoneheadsmedia.com to keep up with everything that I've got going on. Check out our sponsor, Kevin Crager with LPT Realty. Go ahead and give him a call at the number scrolling at the bottom of the screen, 407-702-4635. At Brandon Kravitz and at Zoneheads on social is how you can keep up on the daily as well. We'll chat soon.